Today, from the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, this is Madden Football on EA Sports. And the New Orleans Saints taking on Nick Foles and the Indianapolis Colts.
We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Superdome here in New Orleans. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Indianapolis Colts and the New Orleans Saints. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by a 3-time Pro Bowler, owner of over 35,000 passing yards in 11 seasons. The veteran Andy Dalton.
I love his football IQ. I love his ability to have people rally around him. And as he likes to remind me all the time when I get ready to call one of his games, I can run it a little bit too. A nice presence to have on your team.
Dalton right to the air. On the check down, he finds Kamara. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Looking to throw again on second down. Dalton. There's Chris Olave. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw here, Dalton. That's Olave bringing in another one. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
Dalton off play action. He completes it to Olave. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. Brandon Faison there on the tackle.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Kamara. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Well, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They run. It's Kamara. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And now to the air, Dalton. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Here's Dalton. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11. It'll be a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So on 4th down, on comes Saints kicker Will Lutz. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. Left to Mark marching down the field, only getting 3 there. It kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by an 11th-year passer in the league now. Still best remembered for his heroics in Super Bowl 52, of course, Nick Foles.
When you look at Nick Foles' career in total, you wonder to yourself at times, why has he not been a consistent starter in the league? Because when he's on, he can take a team to the Super Bowl and win it, as he did with Philadelphia.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Foles. Throw left side complete. That's Campbell. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Foles. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Foles finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This one completes Alec Pierce. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. The toss here completed to Pittman. And he's going to get this down near the 25. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Back to throw again. And that will be incomplete. 4th down after the New Orleans defense holds serve.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And this one is right through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the 2nd drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
And
a really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Dalton, 1st and 10. Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. 2nd drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
Oh, that's a big let off there on 3rd down, because you've got to account for the running back coming out of the backfield. They didn't, and they got burned, not just for a first down, but for big yardage as well.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. David Onyemata forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. He'll drop to throw. That's complete to Pierce.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go, and let's see who's faster.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. They'll set up a throw. He finds Pierce. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. We're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Can we just take that run and turn it into a kind of a clip and save? Because that tells you everything you need to know about this drive. They've been moving the ball awfully well.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw here.
Quick slant caught by Pierce.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 25-yard line. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good possession, 1st and 10.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
It's a jet sweep. This is Pittman.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Three, a tight one after 1 on EA Sports. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
On the handoff, Taylor.
A solid move on the run, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line. Down at the 2. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football, and if you're going to throw it.
And he takes it in for a Colts score.
Jonathan Taylor taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Colts have taken the lead. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So that drive spans 13 plays.
And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The New Orleans offense set to take over.
Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
That play was all Bobby Okereke as he got there and dragged him down for the loss.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Kamara off the draw.
And he'll take this to about the 24, a gain of 3.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And this offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Passing, it's Dalton. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, Ray, seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half. Unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Here's Blake Gillikin now.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
Well, the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
They're connecting here with Pittman on the out route.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards for number 11.
Now a handoff. Taylor with it.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now back to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw.
This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with the throw to the safety valve, but it's 4th down.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. This will be fielded at the 17. There'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. Dances by him, and they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down.
Dalton now to pass. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
So the incomplete pass there, but the roughing the passer call bails them out.
Which means you have to stay on the field on defense longer because you've given the offense free snaps, not to mention the free yardage after that mistake.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down at the Colts 37. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Kamara up the middle. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Dalton.
They'll get this out to Kamara, and he'll be brought down at the 27.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
On 2nd down, Johnson. Heck of a broken tackle, but only able to work this down near the 23. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Andy Dalton. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Colts are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw.
He's got his man. It's Pierce.
Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Oh, look at the juke. 39 yards on the punt. Give him just 1 yard on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Sometimes those tip balls turn out to be like a pinball, just bounce all over the place. Everyone's got to go up and get it. In this case,
Well, we talk about tip drills for defensive players like you, but what about the offensive guys? They do any tip drills?
I think they work on it as well, oftentimes in the Hail Mary situations, because you're actually counting on a ball being tipped to give you an extra chance to catch it. They use that training well.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Over the middle, complete. It's Johnson.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On 2nd and very short, Dalton. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
But they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing, Dalton. He's got Smith here. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 16. They give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. He will push his way down to about the 14. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Colts will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Pittman. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. He'll drop this down to Taylor. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got Pierce. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
They'll look to throw again. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw here. That's complete to his running back, Taylor. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And his kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Taken in at the 3.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you gotta expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. Taking it about the 1. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. But the Colts ready to go to work to start the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Now Foles. A contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 36 yards on the play.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field. Pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run the toss here with Taylor. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's Demario Davis navigating his way into the backfield for a tackle for loss.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Here's Foles. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Foles. And this is going to be incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and the lead will hold at 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They get this to Smith on the jet sweep. And not much running room. Down to the 32. The corner, Stephon Gilmore on the stop.
Defensively, they have that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Dalton here from the gun. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Dalton. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw.
This one taken in by Olave.
Touchdown, Saints!
Chris Olave
From 21 yards away.
And the Saints have cut it back within a score. So a strong drive here to off this third quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we have put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he puts it through there within 3. It's 13-10. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
And the Colts getting ready to go.
Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
They'll dump this off to Taylor, complete.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Back to Taylor on 1st down.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
5 yards remain on 2nd down. Again, it's Taylor.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Gets this to Campbell out on the right side.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Oh, they had a good chance to get off the field defensively there. If they could just wrap up, it's going to be a 4th down. But instead, they can't get him on the deck, and he allows them to pick up the 1st down.
Two 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Demario Davis there on the stop.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They're going to look to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Pierce. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 33. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll set up to throw.
Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Mo Alley-Cox. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
48 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
They run once more with Taylor.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Taylor.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 2nd and 7, Foles. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Mo Alley-Cox, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to add on to their advantage. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing right now, so they're trying to keep pace here. They need a touchdown drive.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're loving this, but if you're a fan of defense, this is tough to watch, and it's also tough to keep that up when you've just watched your opponent march down the field on a scoring drive that lasts into double-digit snaps. You need a score here, not just to follow the momentum from your last drive, but put the onus back on your opponent. And that's what they're doing right now, swapping that onus back and forth.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Dalton. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Grover Stewart able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Foles throw into the hands of Pittman here. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another 1st down there.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Foles.
The toss here completed to Pittman. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. Back to throw again. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the handoff, Taylor. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now a handoff. Taylor with it.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
And now a stoppage. It looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. Now the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5.
Now a give to Taylor. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This is a 26-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Saints coming out now to take the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score, because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
1st and 10 for Dalton. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. To throw here, Dalton. Hit as he throws, and the ball is out. It's a live football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long.
Passing, it's Dalton. But it's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So a change of possession here on the punt. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Campbell making the catch. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there.
Now back to throw. Hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw.
Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd and 4.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
He'll get this one to Pittman. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
On the counter, it's Taylor.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. They'll set up a throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Over the middle to Smith. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
To throw again on 2nd down. Dalton. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
And they sit in a good spot, having the ball back after the fumble recovery and up 2 scores in the fourth quarter. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
He'll look to throw.
Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley-Cox, the tight end.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Now Taylor. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
86 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll look to throw here.
Looking for Pearson. He's got him. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Colts have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
And now the Colts are going to keep the offense on the field as they'll go for 2 here. Foles will look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Saints again ready to go on offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack.
DeForest Buckner picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 17.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
A solid stiff arm. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, and going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. And a quick throw here that's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. This will be Dalton again. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 41-yard line. The 3rd down conversion successful. A gain of 11.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Here's Dalton. Over the middle, complete. That's Smith.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd down and 3.
And it'll be Dalton again. That escapes the sack. Steps away to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Quiddy Pay
Able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Throwing, Dalton. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. Trying to lay one up deep. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Up the middle, Johnson. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They go to Johnson again. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of twos, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
So Dalton now. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Fourth down, Dalton wants to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
And the Colts are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Second down, another run with Taylor.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from the Bayou.